button. All right. I won't do it right now, but Toga, runway, SRS, auto thrust, blue, no ECAM. This is a powerful bird. Hello, Chicago. Goodbye, Chicago. I will come see you one day soon. V1? Oh, that's a very nice rotation. Gear up. Oh, oh baby. You probably wouldn't turn this way, I'm thinking. And we're in the soup. Turn north. Well, I don't know if you turn right though. Flaps are coming in. It is crazy turbulent right now. Is there a way to turn the turbulent effect on or off? Okay, 4,000. Do you find the triangle flight director difficult? Not particularly. Should I? I wish I could map this sound. I wish I could map that sound to a slider. That would be pretty cool. Oh, we broke out. Do 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 do. Whoa, 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 whoa. Turbulence. Turn off in simulations. Ah, okay. PMDG camera effects are not. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it is. I would say it's moderate chop. Yep. You ready for that? You ready to go to the to that one there, Steve? Show chase plane shot of the turbulence. Oh, for like the yeah, I could have done an engine wing flex option of the turbulence, but I think we broke out of it. Right, 8,000 climbing. Verify the flaps up. Gear up. Auto brake is automatically reset. And we're coming up to 10,000. So Snack Air SOP says do this. And I'm going to turn the anti-ice back to auto. And someone's beeping me. Got a little bit of visual. Yeah, that might be my anti-aliasing or something along those lines. Citation Max, let's go. I missed you coming in there, sneaking in the door. Mr. Citation Max, how you doing, sir? This is a beautiful freaking bird. Press TFC for traffic. All right, TFC. Traffic. I am on VATSIM. So if anyone wants to give me an escort. Yes. You can use your laptop. Max, I'm just loving this plane. I even said it a couple times on stream that I wasn't going to get the 800. I didn't think I was going to get the 800 expansion for this, but I watched a video on it last night, and dang you, YouTube. I watched a couple of videos. I watched Max's first CJ3 Plus flight, and if I recall, it's your first ever night flight on the YouTube channel. and that was a pure pleasure. Also, getting a lot of great feedback on our PB&J plus M podcast show. A lot of great feedback. Love it. Mr. Dex D, the eject button. Um, well, we have an eject button. It's called a Hot 600, and I don't recommend it. There's the new emote. There is the new. Well, it's a temporary emote until someone does something better, but it's kind of a magenta color, isn't it? And I was debating between the C and the M, but I went with the M. All right, I better check my plane. It looks like she's climbing a little bit crazy here. Clouds look fantastic. Dang you, Max Puck Brad, for getting me into this dang sim. Dang you, PMDG. Dang you, snack you, fork you, man, fork you, spoon, knife, spatula. I need some coffee. Or I don't. In fact, we should probably throw up a link in case, someone missed it. M is more constant. C would have been S for before C, and who knows what. Yeah, it's true. Let's see here, YouTube Studio. It was almost a hot 600. I agree with you there. Um, see if I can grab a link here. Nope, that's not it. There we go, part one. What a fantastic night. In fact, we need to start thinking about the future, the next episode. All right, who was it that was asking, what does PB and J stand for? So it's Puck Vanek, Brad M, John Fly, and Max, or Citation Max. And if you missed it, there is part one of the PB and J plus M Flight Sim podcast with our new joining host, Citation Max. Oh, crap. Center. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. VATSIM centers are starting to come online. Uh-oh. Getting scared. So last night we did... Oh, standard pressure. Last night we did the... in fact, Max, how was your flight to Bermuda last night? We enjoyed the... I enjoyed some of the pre-flight stream before I did the FNO. How was that? And we had a great time. Great time in Atlanta. Yeah. The FNO was fantastic. I kind of did a few jackups on my second leg, but all in all. And then, of course, I made one problem on my approach radio call, but we're tight. We're going to tighten it up. Yep. Crunchy or creamy? Well, I would say milk. PB&J and milk. Yeah. It was gusty into Bermuda. Amazing. Nice. Nice. GSA Weekly Flight Sim podcast sounds better, in my opinion. Probably could get enough people to volunteer to come on and chit-chat on a weekly basis. That's not a bad idea. And, rotate in a few other GSA members. That would be pretty cool. It's not a bad idea. Atlanta did a great job. Yeah, they really did. Believe it or not, I even had a British accent as an approach controller. That's how diverse the Atlanta FNO was. So yeah, good times. We went from New Orleans to Atlanta. I'll be releasing those videos on YouTube soon, but you can catch them now on my highlight page on the Twitch profile if you're a subscriber. What a beautiful bird. What a beautiful bird this is. All right, I'm going to change my range. Wait, that's not changing my range. Or is it? Yes, it is. There's the top of climb. Now, I heard mixed messages about the EFB. I've got the EFB here now. I heard mixed messages on some of it is great, some of it's not so great. I don't know. What are your opinions on the EFB? It was windy all day here. In the sim, I did a flight in the morning. It was gusting 35. Yeah. Not enough new info for weekly, I don't think, though. I also, not to mention, um, I think that people have, they need to find time to stream on their own channels, let alone do a weekly thing. So yeah, that's probably not going to happen. I would like to do monthly, but it sometimes schedules conflict for even monthly. Gusting 35 in Bermuda. Wow. You think the EFB is great, but not so great? Okay. Right, left click, press data load. Each time you see memo, it means you need to scan again. It found new scenery. I'm not understanding that. Is that on the, are you talking on the EFB? No, you're not. Oh yeah, you are. Press data load. Application data is available to load. Select load to load application data. I'm scared. Updating airport database. Ah, okay. That's scary. That's going to take a little while. By the way, the other thing going on is the Snack Bookie is now open on the John Fly Discord for the remaining NFL playoff games, the AFC and the NFC Championship. The Snack Bookie is open. I don't know if the odds have moved from the last posting, but whatever's posted on the Discord now, you can lay down your snack wagers if you'd like on the John Fly Discord. So you think you're gonna get into the heavies in the new Sim Torb? Why not? It looks good. Visually looks good. Do you what are the odds? Speaking of Snack Bookie, what are the odds that the default 747 in the new simulator will follow LNAV and VNAV enough to be VATSIM and Pilot Edge worthy for John Fly? What are the chances? What are the odds? 747 is your favorite airliner? Yeah. Are there any? So who's doing passenger? Is Lufthansa still doing passenger in the 74? And who else? I mean, we know there's a handful of freighters that are still going, but who is doing passenger still? Is Lufthansa? British Airways is? Okay. Air China, Lufthansa, Korean. Okay. All right, good information. Good information. Will PMDG have the 744? And yeah, I would assume. Yeah, I think so. They have to, right? They just have to. But with that being said, we know that the NGX3 will be the first one, right? Is the nav data updating with the monthly AirX in the new sim? Is the nav data updating with that's a good question too. You've been on Korean and Jufti. Both are good, but I still think from a passenger standpoint, the 380 is more comfortable. Yeah. I haven't flown on a 380 yet. And there was rumors for a little while that the 380 is going away. Does PMDG require one to buy the 7.4 to get the 748? Yes. Yep, they do. It's a good looking shot. Let's take a look at the aircraft. All right, we are at cruise. I'll just leave the seatbelt signs on auto. everything looks good. We take a look at the progress page here. VNav. We can do step climbs. There's so much in here I don't know about. Legs page. Why does it say flight level 410? When I put cruise at, I thought I put cruise at 3. Why did it do that? If you want to step climb nag to go away, change to step climb to 0. All right, where was that? Wait, here we go. Here we go, right there. Step climb to 0. Wait. Step change RVSM to 0. Step. Do I change the step 2? Step change RVS, enter 0 and fill. On here, right? No. Right there? Ah, okay. But I still, oh, there we go, there we go, there we go. Okay. All right, that's something interesting. Does it not have a cruise altitude? See, there's my cruise altitude 350. But on this page, it doesn't have a cruise altitude. Okay, so we're supposed to be descending after Maggio. But why does it not have a top of descent listed here? Where do I get the top of descent? There's our estimated time. Opt is what is the recommended. That's the climb section. Will go away once you pass climb. It will display in a few minutes. I think 300 miles or 30 minutes. Ah, okay. Okay, cool. That works. Yeah, this is kind of a this is the equivalent of a John Fly long haul. In fact, I need someone to come talk to me in Discord. Brad, Max, D Monies, Iowa, Puff, St. Wolfric, Nurgle, Bird, Duders. I need some company. If anyone's around. Anyone, come talk to me. Without permission, how you doing? In the progress page, it will appear T/D at Zulu time. Okay. All right, I'm just jumping in the voice lobby. This is a gamble, but I'm in the voice lobby on the Discord. I need someone to come talk to me. 777 Bob, anyone. Petrie Ron. Petrie Ron's got a great voice. We should get Petrie Ron on here. I feel lonely. Yeah. FO, report to the flight deck. Exactly. Who's coming in? Oh, you're at work? Okay. Working.
Hello.
Without permission, how are you? Thank you for joining me.
Hi.
You may get booted at any time because of, SOP, but you never know. How are you, sir?
Doing good. I'm
Remind
flying
us,
into BWI right now.
you're flying into BWI?
Yeah.
All right, let me turn you up here. Hold on.
All right.
What are you flying in? Into Baltimore?
MD-80.
The Leonardo or the Rotate?
Rotate.
That plane.
I love it. It's my first flight. I flew to Atlanta to BWI, and it's actually a really interesting plane.
So this is your first time with it, or you just got
Yeah.
it, or oh wow.
Yeah, this is the first time I was following I watched a video, followed the checklist, and now I'm flying it.
So did you follow a checklist that was included with it, or did you get one from online or?
The one included with it.
Okay.
I followed that, but I also watched a video of a guy setting it up because it's so different. Well, it's like the only thing that's not different is the FMC, but everything else is totally alien to me.
Okay, about I don't know, a couple years ago, uh, a friend of mine, his name's Goldsy. Maybe you know Goldsy. He's a
Yeah.
pallet edge controller,
Yep.
and he gave me a step by step tutorial on the Rotate MD80, and we flew out of Texas, and we did it all together, and it was a fantastic video. And I still don't like that plane. I
Really?
enjoyed the process. I enjoyed learning. I enjoyed the whole. I loved the in depth and the it's a pretty accurate. It's what they call, some people call the most complete simulation aircraft out there, the most complete.
Mm.
But I just don't like the MD80s in the real world, let alone in the sim. Not because they're not a good simulation, but it has to do with ergonomics and where everything is, and the fact that the plane yells at me if I'm 1/17th millimeter off of my trim. And
Yep.
but if you enjoy it, that's what it's all about.
I don't know. I have to see when I land this thing.
But so far, you're enjoying it. You're
So
having
far, yeah, so far it's great.
yeah,
I enjoy the more in-depth stuff every once, like, sometimes I want to fly like something easy just
yeah,
to fly, but
makes
if
sense.
I want to sit down and, like take my time on the ground and stuff, then,
Yeah,
this was kind of fun because I'm like learning a whole like everything is just, yeah, and you're right, it's all wonky. Like the landing lights are on the left side while all the other lights are on the right side, and then up on the panel on
yep,
top. It's all
yep.
it's all just
There's just
nothing seems to be important there. It all looks like the same stuff. You
yeah,
have to like actually read the writing and stuff.
yeah. It just doesn't feel. It just doesn't flow like a 7.3 or 7.4, 7.5, 7.7.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, I admire their attention to detail. The aesthetics are great, and I am going to be conjured or conned or shimmied into flying it again. But you will never see me flying on Pilot Edge. You could pay me
Yeah.
$10,000 right now, and I will not fly it on Pilot Edge.
No,
Well,
you're
okay,
you're
never
right.
mind. I will. I would do it
Oh
for
yeah, for
10,000.
10,000. Yeah, I do that too. I
D
don't even do IFR.
D Monies is here. How are you, Derek?
Howdy.
What are you up to this fine Saturday?
I'm looking at setting up a flight. I think I'm gonna jump in the toilet.
And your VAT sim is reactivated after how long?
It's 2014.
Okay, so we're talking we're talking almost 6 years, five
Yeah.
and some change. Well, welcome back to VATSIM. The new Kodak is bringing in the masses, and I'm happy that you're jumping onto VATSIM.
Yeah, I jumped on and plane watched a little bit, but I haven't built up the courage to actually start talking.
Yeah, you do one of these, just one small guy on the ground, even, one guy ground controller, or just a small airport with not a lot of airplanes around, or maybe and I'll just tag along with you, and I make the radio calls first, and I don't know, just kind of, I know what you're feeling. Imagine my first day on Pilot Edge with Keith Smith as the controller,
Yeah, no
Oh
thanks.
no.
and I was doing pattern work at John Wayne, and it scared the daylights out of me. I think I have a video of it. That's awesome. Anyway, can you say hello to Lil Monies for me and Mini Monies? Nightbird 2335. Good day, sir.
Good evening. How are you doing?
Good. Haven't chatted with you forever. Forever, forever. What are you up to on this fine Saturday?
I'm finishing loading up some ortho scenery for my X-Plane 11, and then probably going to do some pattern work in my Cherokee and practice for my flight.
Nice. For real world flight lesson?
Yep, PPL flight lesson.
Perfect. And you are going to Vegas.
I am. I'll be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm going to even do the captain's course.
So you're going to qualify for the snack rating 17.
That's correct. I'm going to have to get my level 17 there somehow.
That's awesome. Thanks for joining me, guys. This is a reason to do long hauls, just to have a little chitty chat. It's dangerous though. You never know who's going to come into the room. The in fact, you know what? I'm going to close it for now. Hold on. Okay, here we are
Go.
here we are. We're in the
I feel
private
special.
special
Wow.
private room. Jay Barrett, how you 2014 is Jay's laughing at your VATSIM expiration. B2 actually had a $10,000 donation entered, and now he's not going to hit enter because I retract.
You won't even touch it.
He was right there about to click 10,000.
I totally understand. It's like there's certain planes out there that you just know that you probably can't handle like everything. Like the plane
No.
enough is hard to handle, and then having to handle
Yeah.
some sort of direction like
Yeah. Subsonic Flight, how are you, sir? Subsonic Flight won the Pittsburgh airport on the John Fly stream. And I hope that he's enjoying that. The Artisan Simulations, how are you? Howdy. M9 Aviation, yeah, cargo ops today. Brand new plane. This is the 757-800 freighter. So there we go. D-Monies, have you fired up the Rotate MD-80 yet, or have you not acquired it yet?
Oh no, I fired it up and I proceeded to fail a rejected takeoff and run it into the lake at the end of the runway. And so then I pulled a cat straighter and whipped it back around up onto the runway and got it up into. I started getting it back up into cruise, but I don't know. I messed something up and I could never get it to follow the VNAV after that. And then my kids came home and I was like, well, I'm done. So turned it off.
They're welcome to your Rotate experience.
Let's have like an AA group for Rotate.
And the thing is, D-Monies and I are on the line. Once they come out with the updated Smart Copilot config file, he and I have to fly it shared. But we're not going to do it online. But hopefully he's learned enough over the next however long it takes for that new Smart Copilot config file to come out. Yeah, that'll be
Fingers crossed it's like a month or two and not like next week.
Yeah, I would agree with that. 757 Spy says too much to handle in the cockpit. That's why we have Bailey's in our coffee and extra pizza. Yeah. I don't know where Vodkilla is, Jay Barry. He's probably maybe traveling.
He's at work, I think.
Is he? And Steve's at 20. How are you? Wish they could update the Rotate MD-80 with all the new goodies like Rain Effect and Avitab. Maybe an F-mod pack. That would be nice. I just want Smart Copilot config to work. It's
the sounds aren't that bad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm not a sound guy, but you think the sounds are good without?
Yeah, I think they're fine. I don't know. I probably flew an MD-11 like before I even really knew I was flying one. You know, I think the old American livery. Oh, and remember the old American livery? It's basically like chrome.
Oh yeah.
Chrome. It's just bare metal
with the red stripe.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I think I did fly it once, but I don't know. It sounds fine to me. It sounds like there's at least some work into it, but yeah, no Avitab, which is like.
I could deal without Avitab.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a
up.
bonus, but give me the ability to disable the Betty and it yelling at me for having the trim just barely off. Give me the option to maybe make that less realistic, and that will get me one step closer to not hating it, but admiring it at the same time.
You don't like the butt flaps call?
No. It constantly yells at me. You know, whatever it's saying.
Stabilizer?
Yeah, stable. Yeah, and the way that it says stabilizer.
I know.
In fact, I've tried to forget that word, and you just re-injected it into the front of my mind.
Nightmares for days.
Yeah.
It's like I remember I've been watching people play DCS, and I guess they use the exact same Betty as you said.
Yeah.
Because turn left.
And
that's like handle.
FPV Steve says just trim it properly. I tell you, I get it into the range it's supposed to be in, and I set it up, and it still yells at me. Yeah, it seems like it could be a little simpler. Well, and the other thing they could incorporate, you know how the FlyJ Sim product, you just click on the green band and it sets it automatically? Do that. Do that.
Yeah, it's an interesting setting. It's like set your CG, set your flap setting, and like
Yeah, multiple.
it's
Yeah. Yep.
it
Yep.
sounded like a really good idea back in the day, you
Yeah.
know? Like an like a mechanical calculator or something
Yeah.
like that.
And then I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they actually used thrust reversers to back out of the gates with the MD-80.
I don't know.
I
But
think back in the
that sounds
day, before
yeah.
tugs were, a requirement, they would, I think they would use the thrust reversers to come out of the gate, which blows my mind.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I
Yeah.
remember Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, no. I've seen it a couple of times in the Super 80s and the old 727s back when fuel was cheaper.
Mm. Yeah, so nowadays it would cost you $900 to reverse.
Yeah. And a
At
call
least.
Well,
and getting a number. One thing I found super interesting with this plane is when I started um on my rotation, I had to put a lot of back pressure in to finally to get it. I was like maybe I didn't was it like the calculation was wrong or something like that, but apparently not. It was just
I
was
think
like
I did a
that.
tail strike in that plane as well, more than once.
Hmm. Yeah, it's very possible in this thing.
But like I say, it's a very complete simulation of the aircraft, and it's we all want our aircraft to be as close to the real thing as possible, and I think they're that much closer to the real deal than a lot of simulations. So
Yeah.
safer to have someone steering you as well rather than just reversing into a passing 747. Yeah. Captain Obvious, how you doing? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like you could exactly look backwards.
No rear view mirror.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the MD-11 if that's ever coming out. They've continued with that development.
That thing's been talked about for how long now?
I know. Like
So it's
at
like
least a couple of years, yeah.
maybe they need to give an update on the progress. I don't know if maybe they have. I'm just not even interested. I say I won't.
Yeah.
I say I won't get it, but then again, I said I wouldn't get this 747-8 either.
Dude, I've been so I've started flight sim I think almost roughly a year and a half ago, and I got X-Plane because I would watch both your guys, you and Brad's streams, and I'd be like, X-Plane seems to be the right one, and then then I start falling in love with the 747 and all,
Uh huh.
and the SSG one's fine, it's fine and all, but watching everything that's going, everything in PMDG or P3D with the PMDG 747s. I'm like, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it. I tell myself I'm not gonna buy it
Yeah.
because it's just another money hole. I stick with one sim. I don't get money. I don't get paid for this. So
I've spent so much money on it. I've been given some product for free, and some donations have helped. But it seems like I think the biggest money hole for me is going to be the airports. If I
yeah,
before the new sim comes out, I literally paid $34 for Atlanta yesterday. That is insane. It looks fantastic, but that is crazy that I have to spend $35 on one airport that I'm going to maybe fly into 7 times on stream this year. Maybe only 5. I don't know. We'll see. But then again, that VATSIM FNO, and when Atlanta Control comes on, maybe I'll go there a little more often than not. But yeah, there's a lot of money, and it's the old P3D versus X-plane argument. For my general aviation, I'm going to be all X-plane.
100%.
P3D. This is some newness to me, so I'm doing it more lately. Tomorrow we're doing X-plane 11. We're back in the X-plane 11. I'll probably do the PC-12, and I might even try the new Zebo. And hopefully, if all goes well, we're going to be showcasing the brand new Tallahassee airport that is not released yet. The developer is giving a copy of that to me, and he hopes to have it finished by tomorrow. But if not, we'll still find something else to do in X-Plane. So yes, we streamers affect people, and many people have bought X-Plane as a result of seeing the streams out there, and I think they've enjoyed it. They've had a good time, and it's not as prohibitive from an economic standpoint.
Yeah, it's not. Well, you got the gateway, the gateway scenery. So it's
Yep.
like,
And Mr.
yeah,
X and
yeah, Mr. X, yeah, all the free scenery. So it's just like, you know, the BWI I'm flying into is freeware, but
well,
the Atlanta I just flew out of is Nimbus's the older version,
hmm.
uh, payware. So you have that option, and like my home airport, someone in the gateway, kind of made it look pretty similar to what it's like right now.
Yeah.
So it's just like one of those things. It's like, well, I have that option of, a good amount of somewhat well put together, with what they have, sceneries
Yeah.
that just that come for free automatically. So
Yeah. I think if it wasn't back in end of 2014, if I hadn't had stumbled across Josh Gibbs' stream showing back then it was called G2XPL, but it was orthophoto, and he was flying around SoCal, and I just fell in love with X-Plane with that orthophoto. I'd never seen anything like it before in my life, so I jumped in heavy, and I think I will still be flying. I think I'll still be flying hardcore X-Plane for the next decade. Believe it or not, I think there still will be a reason to go back and forth amongst the simulators. In fact, my prediction is I'll still be flying P3D 2 years from now, 3 years from now, because there still won't be some things that will be ported over. So I think it's going to take a little time.
yeah, I definitely will be too, because it'll be interesting to see with the new, with how the scenery's changing with the new flight simulator coming out. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be probably spending much money, if any, on scenery.
I said that, and then I still bought Atlanta, and I still bought this update.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I mean like with the new simulator coming out.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
know that was my
I
whole
know. I
that
say
was
the
my
same.
whole mentality is I'm not going to spend a lot of
Oh,
money prior to this new simulator coming out, but we've got another while. Let's catch up with chat here. 777 said I did not like Imagine Sim, offered no discount for the previous users. Yeah, I paid full price. It was 25 euros, 33 bucks, and I would say that it's a really gorgeous Atlanta, and I enjoyed it. And there is zero competition on the P3D side of things. Now, I have Nimbus Atlanta for X-Plane, and that Nimbus is a little cheaper, and I like it. I know that there's another provider for X-Plane for Atlanta that just released besides Nimbus, who's the other X-Plane Atlanta? There's someone who's really releasing updates lately. Can't remember who it is, but maybe you guys will remember. How you doing, Chronic? B2, you pretty much like to experience whatever is shiny/new. I see you bouncing all over for the rest of your life. That's a very true statement. That is a very, very true statement. I agree with that 100%. We have 200 and some odd miles to go, I think. Let's check the top of descent. Was it Imagine Sim that also did X-Plane Atlanta? Oh, like a conversion? Okay. I'm quite happy with my Nimbus. In fact, I believe they just came out with a V2. Yep, 200 miles exactly to top of descent. I think I can click on fuel. Just doing a little bit of a status check here on the plane. Tons of fuel. Yeehaw. You're right. The SSG, I enjoyed the SSG 747, but it's just this thing is just more complete, right? I think the fact that the SSG followed the LNAV and the VNAV in X-Plane for me on Pilot Edge, I was quite happy with it. And but you don't have the systems depth, and of course we don't have these clouds in X-Plane either. Supposedly X-Plane is shifting their focus though a little bit and focusing on weather a little bit more in some of the visuals with the clouds, etc. But so Nightbird, where are you in are you doing your PPL? Is that what you're doing right now? How many hours do you have, or are you doing a rating or what?
Yeah, I'm working on my PPL first right now. I got about 11 hours in, and finishing up my ground school here, and then hopefully by June I'll have the PPL. I'm going about one.
And you probably have found that the sim has given you a little bit of a head start with.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. In fact, I'm going into the sim right now to do some pattern work at my local airport just to get some practice.
Well, it's amazing how much money can be saved by just a simple PC purchase and a, you know, $60 because you could even fly some freeware or default aircraft in X-Plane 11, $60 and boom, you're getting familiar with your your attitude indicator. You're getting familiar with the ATIS. You're getting familiar with headings and
Oh
unfortunately,
yeah, and then
yeah,
throw in free VAT sim, and now you're doing CTAF calls,
yep,
and you get all that practice.
yep. That's one thing I'm really bad at, CTAF calls, but I'll get better in time. I was doing CTAF around New Orleans last night. It was rather entertaining. Well, that's excellent. Well, I wish you well on that, and look forward to the day you can tell us that you ripped off your T-shirt.
Okay.
I still don't understand that tradition, but apparently that is the you rip off your T-shirt, cut it, sign it, whatever.
That's the first I've heard about this tradition, but I'll have to ask around about it.
I didn't make that up, right, guys? I don't think I did.
I haven't heard of
Someone in chat will back me up, and then B2 is gonna throw me under the bus. Like, nope, you imagined that whole process. Active Sky Torbinator says Active Sky was supposed to release cloud art for X-Plane in Q4. Yeah, I haven't seen that yet. Austin has many hobbies. Yeah, he'll be at Expo, I'm pretty sure. I had a fortune of getting a picture with him at the Expo in Vegas last time. Yeah, so that's Karma says, yeah, after your first solo, you get your shirt cut. So wear a cheap shirt is the moral of the story. DMB Bird, no, I'm not on real time in the sim. Is that what you're asking? Or are you asking someone else maybe? I am, let's see, where is the clock in the 7.4? I think the ETA up at the top shows 1804, but here it shows, we're going to be at JFK at 21:53 Zulu, so I think we're off by a couple of hours as far as sim versus real time. I don't ever track real time, it seems like.
I'm getting yelled at.
You're getting yelled at?
Yeah.
By?
Altitude.
Going into BWI.
And she's yelling at me.
Stabilizer. Flaps. My father wore a not a very good shirt when he soloed because he knew they'd rip it off. Yeah, still has it framed. There you go.
Yeah, I'm slowly as well working on my PPL. I was working a lot on it over the summer, and I got the Airfoil Labs Cessna 172. That's basically what I was flying, and
Good plane.
give me a big old printout of all the procedures that I have to know to like show that moving on. And I just hop in the sim. I have like a SciTech yoke, and I just go there and just practice my slow flight, steep turns, traffic pattern. It was great because when I did my I think my phase one, check with one of the guys, he was like, you're one of the best I've ever seen because I was able to just to kind of and he's like, why? And I said, well, I run a simulator at home. And he's like, oh, that makes sense. He's like, he was telling me a story of how a 13-year-old came for just like a little introduction flight, and they were in a Cardinal, and he wanted to do an ILS landing. So the guy said, all right, yeah, we'll set it up, and he flew that ILS landing perfectly.
He's like,
He
how
said,
did
I've
you
never
do
seen
this?
someone fly that so well. Yeah. So he was like amazed by it. And I was like, yeah,
That's
it's just the
cool.
power of the simulator.
Yeah. That's Karma says it's an old thing with biplanes when the student sits in front with the instructor behind you, and since they didn't have comms, the instructor would tug on your shirt to tell you to lean back and listen to them. So when you solo, you don't need him to tug on you anymore. Oh, okay. I think Captain says the same thing. Yeah, the same thing there. Yeah, that's a really cool story, actually. Now we know where it came from. T-Storm 1986. Good day. Did you guys hear about the incident in LAX? No. Is that just happened today? What happened? Active Sky has been pretty adamant in mentioning that the initial release would offer a basic cloud replacement, but their cloud art pack would come. Yeah, I guess they're delayed in that. Oh, I'm making a turn.
Ooh.
I should check my status on the chat on the chart here. You guys use Navigraph charts?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm using it right now. This is actually fantastic.
It's amazing. You're enjoying it then. Good. So I'm just going over Kohler. Oh, there's that Jamestown VOR, which is JHW. And then JST was not Jamestown. It's Johnstown that we also are going over or already went over. And we'll make our way down to the small airport of Kennedy, and we're going to land ILS 31 right. So what are you in right now besides Navigraph charts, D-Monies?
What do you mean?
Are you loading up a plane right now, or?
I'm loading up the Tolus.
Ah, the Tolus. The 319. Top of descent in 110 miles. So I'm going to reset. In fact, I'm going to look at the Lindy 6 arrival. I'm going to overlay that onto the chart. Oh, this thing is fantastic. So it wants us to cross Lindy at 250 knots, flight level 190. I think that we can bug up 190 and let it automatically descend on its own. So from up here, I'll rotate my MCP to 190. There we go. They were dead silent. Oh, yeah. Some Delta flight that was trying to land dumped fuel on. Oh, yeah. But, yeah, they did. And it's unfortunate those people were injured. And I don't know, in hindsight, you just never, you don't know what was going on. I guess there'll be more, over the course of an investigation. You think that they would go dump it out over the ocean. But they had to land pretty quick, and because of so did they save hundreds of lives by dumping the fuel and injuring some people? Yeah, don't know.
It's a dilemma and a half.
It's what?
That's a dilemma and a half.
Yeah. It's okay to dump fuel above 5,000 or over the ocean, but they were at 2,500. Yeah, I think they. So the question is what kind of damage would have caused had they landed really heavy? I mean, because they were fully loaded. So did they have enough flight time? Because here we are, we could second guess it all day, but come to find out, if they had flown out over the ocean and dumped fuel, and then had some sort of catastrophic failure and they went down in the ocean, would we have said, you know what, you maybe should have gone back to the airport and dumped it at 2,500 feet? It's hard, it's hard to say. But yeah, there was a lot of burns and I guess a lot of just maybe inhalation and just, yeah. I guess maybe, was it recess? I don't know. Someone light a match. I think that, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Jet A is that combustible with a match. I actually think that if you drop a match onto Jet A, I think it just goes out. Am I wrong on that? It could have been at stall speed with all that fuel and come in too fast and would not have been able to stop. Yeah. Yep. There's a video from a guy who is a 777 pilot from another airline. He says at LAX, even at max takeoff weight, the plane can land on 25 right, no problem. There was no reason to dump. Interesting debate. Most fuels aren't that combustible. It's the fume. Yeah, the fumes are dangerous for sure. it was a big plane. What was it? It was a 777?
Yeah, it was a 777 on way to Shanghai.
No. No one was killed. I don't think, and hopefully there's no serious injuries from the dumping of the fuel. But all right, let's check my ND here. Top of descent's right there. Yep, I know I'm tempting many people showing off these fine products. But know this. This aircraft is... How much is the 744? Is it 130 or 150 dollars?
Oh.
And that's not the 748. 748 is an additional $70. And the thing is that... Oh, I will give a compliment out to PMDG, not only for their fine aircraft, but let me tell you guys what happened. Last night, John Fly had a few adult beverages during the VATSIM FNO. VAT Love emote inbound. First person to give me a VAT Love emote wins 300 snacks, unless you're on live chat with me, and then you don't because there's no delay.
Oh man.
But you have plenty of snacks, D-Money's. So I had a few adult beverages, and so I go, you know what? I'm going to go buy this plane. There we go, 777 Bob got it. I'm going to go buy this plane because I just watched this 747-800 video from this guy in Netherlands. I just got a kick out of seeing all of the new features, etc. So I and I quickly go over to PMDG, and I click the button. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to buy it. Boom, 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 boom. PayPal, here you go. And then I go to download it, right? It downloads. I had to send a verification code just to download it. I get it downloaded. I get it extracted. I run the executable, and it keeps telling me, you have the wrong. You need to update your 744 to this version, otherwise you can't add the 800 expansion pack, right? So I'm like, okay. I go into the PMDG Operations Center and I check out my version. I think, oh, there's an update to the 744. I got to do it. No, I'm at a later update than what's required. And I keep battling this for like 10 minutes. And then finally, I realized I bought the FSX version of the 748. So I'm like, killing myself that I just spent. And at the time I bought it, it was like $50 for the FSX version. I thought, that's cheaper than I thought it was going to be, but I didn't think about it. So I fired off an email to PMDG support. I opened up a ticket and I said, listen, I bought the FSX version on accident. I need the P3D version. Can I get a refund? And then I'll buy the P3D version. And then about 5 minutes later, I'm like, I am so impatient. I've got to go buy the one I need. So I go and buy the real one I need. And then in order to download it, they send you an email with a verification code. Well, that wasn't working. And I was like, I was getting upset. Finally, it came through. We downloaded the P3D version. I loaded it up. My wife's texting me saying, what are you doing up so late? I'm like, it's the 800. She's like, I don't understand. And so got it all squared away. In my back of my mind, I'm like, okay, I think PMDG, maybe on Monday or Tuesday, they're going to get to this ticket and they're going to issue me a refund. Cross fingers, I woke up this morning, email from PMDG, refund completed. That was quick. Got the refund for the FSX version, and now we're flying the P3D version. That was a bit of a story, wasn't it? I was laughing my head off because Julian Edelman, who is the Patriots' #1 wide receiver, got arrested for a misdemeanor. Did he get arrested for misdemeanor vandalism? That seems so related to what I was talking about, T-Storm. Because I was about to go there. No, I wasn't. But you did. I am happy that we have 4 teams that are in the playoffs that, well, people kind of predicted the 49ers were going to be there. But I don't think anyone predicted that the Titans. The Chiefs, yeah, maybe. And then who's the 4th team? Green Bay? I don't think people saw Green Bay getting in there. Jeez. All right, is our top of descent happening? Yeah, that is great customer
Now they
support.
deploy.
What's that?
So, I just landed MD-80, and my reversers didn't deploy for some reason. So I tried another button, and they finally deployed at some point, but I had to like smash the brakes for it.
Yeah, I have my reversers binded to my throttle quadrant, a slider on there. But in P3D, I just smashed down the F2 button.
Mm. Yeah, I have it. I think this like the MD-80, I think it's just specifically bound to reversers. Most of them are bound to like beta / reverser kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I have. But then I have another one like on standby,
Yeah.
and so I hit that, and it actually helped me slow down. But
Mad Dog, one of the loudest planes. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. No one had the Titans still in it, and I really look for them to give KC a hard time as well. I'd like the Titans to go to the playoffs, even though I'm a big I'm a big Andy Reid fan. And I like some of the KC staff and players, but I'm like a lot of us. If it's not one of our favorite teams, we definitely like the underdogs. I mean, there's a lot of people that are happy that the Patriots are out and the Ravens are out. But there's a lot of people that are like shocked, and a lot of people that are sad. I'm just sad that fantasy football's over. All right, on the John Fly Discord, we do have a Snack Air join request. It looks like Lost Kayaker wants to be added to Snack Air. Is RCH 100 or Luzader 1983? Are you either of you here in the chat room? I will grant you early access to the roster if you're here. It's kind of interesting. There are a lot of people on the John Fly Discord that never come to the stream. Don't you find that fascinating? You maybe stepped away from the mic, but I find that fascinating.
Oh, I had it muted. Sorry.
Oh. Yeah, there's a ton of people that never come to the stream. They're all about the Discords. Or maybe they come to the stream, they're just lurking. Could be.
watching from a distance.
Yeah. Tony says, can you pay me the 600 snacks for flying out of Torrance? Please don't forget me. I can't pay you 600 snacks until the end of the month. Until February, like the first week in February, I'll be paying out those Torrance snacks. So, yeah. If Rodgers and Mahomes were in the Super Bowl, it would be sponsored by State Farm. It's very true. Oh, Lost Kayaker is here. All right, well, Lost Kayaker, you're in early if you have done a request on FS Economy, because I don't know if I see your request on the FSE unless I do. Let's take a look. So we're here on FS Economy. I go to memberships, Snack Air. Lost Kayaker right there. Early acceptance in. Right there. Accepted. There we go. You're in. Now, Lost Kayaker, it's very important that you read the welcome message. In fact, the guys on the wait list are going to be like, what? How did he get in front? So I'm going to go at Lost Kayaker. Very important to read this message. You got to get your first flight within the first 10 days, and then after that, you only have to do one flight every 45 days. And then I'm going to just give a thanks for winning the snack membership live on stream. Just so those guys, the guys on the wait list are like, what? What just happened? Oh, we're starting our descent. I'm going to check VATSIM to see if we have any controllers. There's Indy Center. Uh-oh. What center am I in? Let's check the Navigraph chart. You should probably always know what center you're in. Let's do high en route. Oh, we flew through Toronto airspace on that route. That's interesting. And now we're into, I guess we're into New York. It's hard to say on this map. But yeah. We got Pittsburgh, departure and approach. I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, gentlemen, but I think I should get a contact me if someone wants to talk to me, right? I think that's the case.
That's the way I understood it to be. They contact you, they ask you for that. But I was noticing last night in the FNO that they weren't sending it out, probably because they were just
Too busy, yeah. Cleveland Center is here in this area. It looks like I'm in New York. Yeah.
Yeah, according to VATSPY, you're in New York Center airspace.
Yep.
Ooh. Trying to replay my angle of attack was.
You should assume that, but I've had controllers tell me that it's the pilot's responsibility. Yeah, I mean, if I see New York Center come online, I'm gonna contact them, but you're not always looking at the controllers that are in range, but in fact, you'd think on a Saturday that there would be. I guess the world needs more controllers. I guess the world needs more VATSIM controllers. Those guys last night were my heroes, though. Even though I got kind of ripped at one point by one of them, because he said turn right, 090. I believe he cleared me for the localizer. He said maintain 170 knots until Bernsey, and I said right turn 090, maintain some number until Bernsey, and he goes, that wasn't even close. Let's try this again. I went, whoa, because I was really task saturated in the moment with everything, and I was probably paying in. He was right. I didn't get it right, but I was probably paying attention to the chat. But it's funny how I can go, on a 2 hour, hour and a half flight, and I make all these perfect radio calls, and then I screw up on one radio call. I get it right the second time. I correct it quickly. Right turn 070, maintain 170 until Bernsey. Southwest 572. But it's funny how out of the 92 radio transmissions, only one of them I really messed up on, but it affects my overall mentality of how I did the entire time. It's like, you didn't do so well on the radios. Well, you did really well, except for this, 1%. I did. I think you're right, B2. I think I did swap the speed and the direction. I was a little dyslexic, I think, on that one. What do you think of LSU QB Joe Burrow possibly going to Cincy? I'd feel bad for him if he went to Cincy.
Poor guy.
I'd say, yeah, poor guy. Yeah. Janet Jackson taught us that years ago. Should have listened. Yeah. Yeah, you'd think Janet Jackson soloed after that Super Bowl appearance. Bad joke. It's the same thing on the other end of the mic. Yeah. Flying single pilot jet is not easily, especially John, if that's what your second. No, you're right. It's my third FNO. So we did Minneapolis, and then we did San Juan, Puerto Rico, and so it was our third FNO. Overall, I think I'm pretty happy with what I've done, and again, if the controller corrects you one time, and you nail it the next time. What I did find is that several controllers throughout the night were extremely professional and extremely welcome. There was an incident on the ground at Atlanta where apparently someone just flew by someone, almost hitting them, and this guy gets on the radio and says, "Atlanta ground, that American just almost clipped me and just he wasn't even authorized to taxi past me, blah, 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 blah. And then the other pilot comes on and says, if I'm on an active taxiway, I have right of way. And I think he's right. I think even if the controller gives a certain instruction, you as a pilot still have to give right of way to someone who's on an active taxiway if you're not. And then they're going to get chewed out later for doing something that they shouldn't have done. But my impression is that if you're in a non-movement area and you see an aircraft going by on an active taxiway, you have to give way, is what I'm thinking. So he's right, but the plane that was doing it was also in the wrong. But it was amazing how the controller came back and was so calm and professional and said, I'm sorry, gentlemen. Let's go ahead and have you do this. He didn't really harp on it. And the truth is that as D-Money's, CSLs sometimes didn't even work last night for some people. So we may not even see someone, but granted, you probably shouldn't be moving without the ground controller knowing about it and the ground controller, sequencing the aircraft in the proper way. But there's no need for emotion. You can actually choose someone out without zero emotion. I should try to practice that mentality with my children. Yep. Sim Crash Mike, how are you doing? All right, I'm about to get into the approach here. Any words of wisdom there from Nightbird?
Just stay ahead of the airplane.
That's a good one. Without, what do you say? Give me some inspiration.
You're taller than you think.
I like that. D-Monies, are you here? Any words? You're on.
What?
Any words of wisdom on my approach here into JFK?
People want you to do well.
Okay, thank you. All right, landing lights coming on early. Looks good. We're going to do auto brake. Gosh, we'll do auto brake 2. No, I'm going to do auto brake 3 because that's how good of a student pilot I am. We're going to set standard pressure. I thought the weather would be... Uh-oh. Oh, that's interesting. I switched to standard pressure and the barrel was 3032 and I got an altitude alert because the altitude really shifted. We're also coming up to our cruise level.
Altimeter setting.
I'll stay in standard for now. Fine. That kind of jacks it up though, doesn't it? All right, so what's interesting is that you'd think that I'd need to be lower than 190 at Lendy on this chart because it's getting relatively close. But we'll pull up the ILS chart, overlay that on. We need to be at Katahdin at 3,000. We're going to simulate a vector out over the ocean, hopefully get some beautiful visuals. So the question I have is when I need to be at STW at 16. All right, we'll just go ahead and bug this. I think I got another doorbell on VATSIM.
Yeah, I did too. It freaked me out for a second.
The sound for contact me is different than the announcement, isn't it? Oh, we're supposed to be at Lendy at 9311. That is not right. Because it said on the chart 190. Oh well. Okay. All right, so we need to start down. Yeah, I'm just wondering if maybe I should do our vertical profile is off. So I'm going to go into a vertical speed mode for now just to kind of start gauging her down. Just hit descent now. Okay, so we'll go out of vertical speed mode, back into VNAV. And on the, should I do off-path descent? or descent direct. There is no, yeah, there. I guess we'll do an off-path descent. All right, Tucker, have a good one. Oh, we're getting down. Now we're going to hit standard pressure. Update the ATIS. 3040 now. Descent, maybe descent direct. I don't want to go direct to where it was putting me, though. Because it's going to Rosley. Okay. Simulate some vectors. All right, I'm going to verify that my ILS frequencies are in there. So under NavRad, we got 110.90, and that is not correct for 31 right. So we're going to go to departures and arrivals. Oh, snack. My X-plane's jacked up. My X-plane, my P3D. JFK. Oh yeah, they're landing 22 left. We set up for 22 left on this one. Okay. All right, we'll do 22 left. So back over here on the chart, we're going to change this to ILS 22 left. And we'll overlay that. And on this one, we got 110.9, course 224. So NavRad shows 110.9224. Perfect. Cool. Yeah, it looks like it worked. I'm not in VS now. I'm actually in descent, but it is a little bit not on profile, but that's okay. My sim keeps pausing. I'm really gonna have to do that conversion of going from hard disk to solid state, because I really think that'll make a difference in loading the sceneries, etc. Okay, lights all look good. Auto brake is set. Let's change our range. Yeah, it keeps pausing. I don't know if it's weird. Citation Max, how you doing? Welcome back. Try not to spill the beer. I mean coffee. Yeah. Coffee. I'm landing JFK. Max, I'm landing 22 left. Should I be going 31 right? It's too late now. Okay, we're at 14,000 feet. Coming up to Lindy. I don't know how to land a 748. It's different than a 744. I think I have IRL weather on. No. Altimeter 3040. Let's check it. METAR KJFK. Says there here that the altimeter is 3040, so yeah. Winds 210 at 10. One statute. Let's see how well Active Sky gets this one on. Wow. Okay, we're making a left turn at Lindy. Curious what my frame rates are. Not ideal. 29 to 42. There's a lot of jump in the frame rate. Auto land time, it might be, because I mean the ILS 22 left is capable of a Cat 3 landing, so that's handy. I don't know how to land the plane. Just what you want to hear coming from the cockpit. Yeah, no, well, it's cargo, so the cargo doesn't care. They're like, eh. So there's one burning question this NFL offseason. Will Tom Brady go or will he stay in Foxborough? I think he'll stay. Yeah, he'll either stay or he'll go be a Las Vegas Raider. There's my prediction. All right, we've been told by New York to stand by for Vector. Okay, so we're going to go into heading select. And then we're going to do a and then I'm also going to do a VS. And we're going to go on a heading of 110 for the time being. Beautiful. Hey, Mamba. How you doing? And feel free, without Nightbird, D-Monies, to talk me through anything that you see I'm doing wrong here.
All right. Seems pretty good right now.
Arm the auto brakes. I'm going to go on a heading of 090 for the moment as we descend. Yeah, we're going to see if John Fly can land. I'm assuming the landing rate plugin is going to work because we're using Project Fly, but Project Fly bot hasn't come into the room, so maybe not. Why has the Project Fly bot not come into the room? All right, the temperature is +3, so I guess I'll let the auto anti-ice work. Activate the legs so you get rid of the LGA as your next fix. No, I'm just on vectors. I'm on vectors. We're gonna go right downwind for 22 left. We can just be on vectors, right? Or what do you want me to do? Look at my MFD. Oh, I see what you're saying. So go to legs. Next page. It has Rosley in there, which is the next waypoint. So just go like that. And then the MFD is going to look better. Yeah. That's a good call. All right, we have to go out a ways here for descent though. I've been told to slow down to 220 because I'm overspeeding. Ooh, we're getting choppy now, boys. Oh, snack. In fact, we're breaking some rules. Let's get our speed brakes out. And I'm going to shallow our descent. Yeah, we're going to have to go out a ways here because we're supposed to be at 3,000. So we're way high. We're way high. Pass it. Oh, no. I need the backseat pilots like there's no tomorrow. Do I want to turn off the shaking, or do we want to feel the turbulence? Because it's a little bit much right now. Vegas Flyer, the VAT love. I am on VAT Sim. There's no controller for this area right now. And we're having to descend. I don't know what there's no mountains out here, so I don't have to worry about terrain as much as I do back in the West. Feel the turb. Yep. In fact, that's a good Twitch name, Turb. If Max starts here with it no telling how far he'll go with it, I want more. I mean, in fact, Brad, I'm going to fly the 777 here pretty soon, and you gave me the lesson. So you were the you were the ultimate instructor on that bird, and hopefully I remember at least 10% of what you told me. I feel like I needed to send a little bit quicker. So it's Brad's fault. Yeah, there's just 2,000-foot buildings. Nothing to worry about here. All right, there's 6,600 descending. We're way past where we're supposed to be, but that's okay because it's ATC. We're under virtual ATC, controlling our situation. All right, 6,200. All right, let's do a right turn. Here we go, boys. We'll go heading on 130 for the time being. 92% of Brad's lesson involved pizza toppings. Yes, they do. They do. 90. Yeah, exactly. I just need to take a probiotic pill. It's part of the checklist for the pizza. Did you guys know that if there's a report of snow pellets and light freezing rain, you cannot take off? Did you guys know that? All right, heading 180 for the time being. Brad M puts ketchup on sushi and supports this type. What? Ketchup? I will admit, since I one day, like I said earlier, I'm a sushi rated number 2 out of like 19 ratings. I'm sushi type rated number 2. In order to get to the 19th rating, you actually have to use wasabi, and I don't use wasabi. It's a violation, I know, but I just don't do it.
That's terrible, and you can't even really get real wasabi here in the States.
Yeah, it's all fake, but I just don't like it. Yeah.
Once had a trip coming back from Korea, had a long layover in Narita. Decided to go out of the airport and have some fresh sushi in the streets of Tokyo. That was awesome.
Oh, now
That's
that's
nice.
the real deal. There we go. There's the 4 remotes equals PBJM. Yeah. I don't have to arm the localizer yet, but I will if it's tuned in. It is tuned in. Okay. Yeah, localizer is armed. Uh-oh, my plane is getting ripped or roared around. Additional flaps coming in because we're on nose. Checklist incomplete. Oh, snack. I am going to try to do those checklists one day. Oh, no. It's always a bad sign when you get warnings.
Oh.
Arming of the speed brakes. We're at 200 knots. We're going to go down to 210. We're going down to 200. Oh, snack. I'm scared. Now it says the localizer is off to the right. I could turn towards it, but I'll let it intercept. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. There's snow and there's low vis. What kind of approach is this? You have a $10 million vase in my plane. It better not be broken. Oh, now you just made me more nervous. You like the wasabi and hot sake? Yeah. Hope that cargo's not fragile. That's you hear glasses breaking. Do I need to intercept the localizer manually, DMB Bird? I don't know. Should I turn the heading? Toward the localizer. All right, speed 180. Init flaps 30. 143.
Looking pretty good.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
We may die. We may break that $10 million vase, whatever you call it. This is intense. Wonder what I'm gonna break out at. When you know PE, you're good. The only real difference is the center/approach controllers control you all the way down if there's no tower on. Yeah. Yep. Oh, Turbinator, you're gonna be solid on VATSIM. The only thing is these little isms, like you have to squawk 2000 until you get under control if you're at the flight levels. And then, of course, CTAF calls at class Bravos are kind of weird to do. All right, I'm going to bug up 1800. Okay, sterile cockpit. No, you have to say with you. Shh. He doesn't say with you. Oh, it's in the V-Pilot, in the X-Pilot client, Turbinator 97. X-Pilot client has a file flight plan button. And what's really cool is when you're in controlled airspace, you get a freaking PDC. How cool is that? Hitting the approach button. All right, approach mode. I got GS in white. Is that okay? Please tell me that's okay. GS green. All right, flaps. Extra flaps. And we eventually want to get down to 143. Gear coming down. Speed brakes are set. Spoilers.
2500.
Oh, snack. Okay. Oh, my goodness. Where's my 3 green? Does it have like 3 green, or does it just show you the gears down? We're 8 out. I'm getting way dirty early. I'm getting really slow, but they told me to slow down. Is it better to hold it kinky? Maybe, yeah. Hold at the kinky waypoint. Dirty early. And do you have to greet cleared to push back you when in any American airport? I've never asked for a push and start, but the Europeans do it all the time because of out of habit. And then we Americans go over to Europe and then we don't request push and start approve. Sometimes it'll say it in your PDC, but I think 9.9 times out of 10 you don't have to. Yeah. I think
It depends on the airport. If you're pushing onto an active taxiway, you have to request it.
Yeah, but non-movement areas should be just fine for push and start.
Right, you can push and start non-movement, no problem.
All right, we are 6 out. Oh, snack. I'm going to put in my final approach speed. 143. All right, drink some coffee. That's on the checklist. We're taking this down. The minimums. What are the minimums? It looks like we're Cat 3, RVR 6. Whoa. Cat 2 is decision height 112 or 100 on the radio altimeter. No, I'm missing a few steps. Please break out. Please break out.
1,000.
Oh, gosh, I'm nervous. I can't see the airport. All right. My last will and testament. I give all of Snack Air to D Monies if he says something in the voice room in the next 10 seconds.
What?
There you go.
Oh wow.
If we die on this
Oh,
landing.
that's fine.
Approaching. 2 left.
Imagine all of a sudden I'm like B2 in Wreckfest on a lawnmower. Oh my gosh, we're at 600. What am I doing? Where is the freaking airport? Come on, break out. And then what's the proper way to disconnect the autopilot?
On the yoke.
I just need to bind that someday. Oh, I think I can see a little bit of ground. Ground contact. I'm not disengaging this, though. 200. No runway contact yet.
Come on.
100.
Oh, I see the runway. I'm sorry, but the RVR is below mins. Oh, it auto-landed before the threshold.
Ooh.
It auto-landed before the threshold. That was not good.
That's a shame.
That is a real shame. That was supposed to be an exciting takeover at the last 50 feet. But oh well. All that. That was like we just like some blockbuster movie, and the ending sucked. Right up to, well, I would say that approach was kind of cool to see, and I was impressed that it was modeled all the way down. But I think in the real world they actually would Cat 3 that. Don't you think?
Oh yeah.
1,000 feet remaining.
Send repairs to Snack Air headquarters, Salt Lake City, Utah. Yeah. You think it's a mesh bug, Petrie Ron? Could be. Could be. All right, we're gonna stop here for a second and clean up. Oh, there's the JFK VOR. I've had the fortune of taxiing by that in the real world. That's how lucky I am. Thank you, Citation Max. We were taxiing by a Super 380 in his little tiny Cirrus SR22. But the funny part was when we, it took us 25 minutes to get up to a certain point, headed to the runway, and there's like 27 planes in line. I think with fog, you're supposed to have a lot of lights on, aren't you? Anyway,
Except the strobes. You don't want the strobes on.
no strobes. Thank you. I think it was funny. We're 25, 30 minutes into our taxi, and there was a Super A380 in front of us, and then there was a 787 in front of us, and then behind us was a King Air, and the King Air pilot radioed in to JFK ground and said, Kennedy ground, the Cirrus SR22 in front of me has his baggage door open. Oh. And we're in the middle of all these jumbos and this, that, and the other. And so I'm thinking, well, I'll just jump out and we'll just close it. No, you can't jump out on an active taxiway and you're an A380 and a 787. So we had to pull off and taxi all the way back to the FBO to close that baggage door. And from now on, we always triple cross verify that the baggage door is closed. I'm going to turn on the APU. I think that started it.
Well, it was nice flying with you.
Thank you for joining me.
I'm gonna head out, but yeah.
What part of the country are you from again without?
I'm in DC.
DC, okay. Very
Yeah.
nice. No wonder you're
All right,
flying into Baltimore. Take care, my friend.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's one of those one of the home airports there. Yeah.
There you go.
All right, I'll see you.
See you next time. Okay, we're going to taxi down hotel here. Again, there's the JFK VOR right there. That is so cool. You see all the MS 2020 development video on the ground. Oh, big dispatcher. You're not kidding. Yeah. How would you suggest someone to how to get over the fear of turbulence? That's a good point. There's I guess that some people, they'll have less fear if they understand the science behind it. So it's basically, the warm air meeting the cool air, and it causing turbulence. But also take a big amount of peace that these planes are stress tested to handle extreme turbulence. I mean, they flex these wings like crazy in the testing phase of all of these aircraft. So note that you can take a lot. Like it takes a lot of turbulence. In fact, you rarely you see injury from people who don't have their seatbelt on. So keep your seatbelt on when you're. You know what? Where's cargo? I think cargo is on the other side down. Yeah, I think I want to turn here. So yeah, just take a lot of pride that the plane can handle a lot of turbulence. Just keep your seatbelt on, and that may help you a little bit with the fear. I don't know. I think I fly out quite a bit, but I always have this irrational fear. All right, so maybe it's just a matter of time. I don't think any of us like a lot of turbulence. In fact, there's a quote from Hunt for Red October where he's talking about turbulence, and he doesn't like it at all. And, he's Jack Ryan, so. All right, we're going to turn here. The wings could probably go full on bird mode, no problem. Yeah. I mean, you've seen those videos where they stretch the wings until they break. It's amazing that they're like at this angle before they break. It's crazy. So back to the videos, yeah, on the Microsoft Flight Simulator, the new videos look fantastic. They really do. Where's the clear button for the? It's probably over here, huh? Right there. Okay. Oops. Getting off my taxi line here. How do I get rid of the ATC menu? Choose an option for Kennedy ground. Does anyone know how to get rid of the ATC menu? It looks like a G. I accidentally hit something. No, off skid descent. You didn't hear the news? I've deleted all 737s from my P3D and my X-plane. I've vowed not to fly a 737 until 2024 at the earliest. I mean, I'm really upset with them right now. Really, really upset. Anyone know how to get rid of that menu? Right there it is. Close. Boom. All right, taxiing down this runway. Hopefully we can find the cargo area. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to test follow me. Let's stop here. Set the parking brake. F12. And parking facility. I don't think they have cargo in here. They just have gate A, B, C, F, G, H, north parking, northwest. I guess this would be considered. Yeah, I don't know. West parking. No, that's gonna work. All right, continue taxi. I won't even fly a 737 IRL. No, I'm only Airbus now. Why are my V speeds deleted? That's really fascinating. I need those V speeds for my taxi. You can corner the market. Yeah, you can. Used to work at Boeing. Their planes are so over-engineered. I've been in the lab when they did destructive testing on wings. Yeah. You'd much rather be over-engineered than under-engineered, right? How many AOA sensors are there on the 744 and 748? Oh, we got a subscribe. We got a subscribe. Gifted sub from Captain Tony Stark to one Ducati K9. Oh,
We
back to
got a
back.
subscribe.
Sub back to back. We got Captain Tony Stark also gifting to Captain Obvious 370. Thank you, Captain Tony Stark, for the gifted subs. Thank you. When the wings failed, you needed you needed hearing protection. Oh man, I can imagine. All right, hopefully this vase that we're carrying, this $10 million vase, is not broken, because we actually landed before the threshold, or on the threshold. But that was Category 3 Autoland, so it could be a mesh issue like Petrie Ron pointed out. We don't know. And I think the taxi is taking as long as the flight. It's very interesting. I love how this is modeled. The haze is modeled really well. I'm thinking that in X-Plane we don't have this good of haze, fog modeling. I am in X-Plane tomorrow, though, for all of you X-Plane folk. All of you X-Plane lovers. I am in X-Plane tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be showing a brand new airport, an unreleased payware airport that's coming. It'll be Tallahassee. If all goes well, we'll show that tomorrow. If it doesn't come in tonight or tomorrow morning, then we will show something else. I'm thinking about doing PC-12 and maybe loading the Zebo. Something else could come my way. Isn't the Falcon from Aerobask for X-Plane looking just spectacular? But I can say that after flying the FS Labs, the NGXU, in the FNOs, I flew the FS Labs on Pallet Edge. I flew the 777, not online yet, but isn't it fascinating that I can now consider myself a hybrid streamer? I am now officially a hybrid streamer. You know what? We have special parking today.
So, John, just out of curiosity, did you check for the B747-8 approved taxi routes at J?
I did not. Is that on the
That's a Navigraph charts there.
Let's take a look here. Let's see. Taxiway Alpha between NA and taxiway NB, aircraft speed restrictions of 17 knots, 20 miles per hour maximum for the 74. Aircraft operational taxiway restrictions exist for the 747. It doesn't.
So there's a separate chart for it under taxi.
Oh no. Violation. I probably should have gone on Papa and Mike, maybe. Here we go. Under taxi, does
Very
it have
nice
it
truck.
here? Airport info, takeout, no. Parking gates. Which one of these documents would have? Oh,
The very
oh,
last
there, the very last one. Look at that. I can only go in the yellow. No, that's not right. Oh, it's
yellow's
that's
where you can't.
Oh, it's prohibited. Oh, that's very fascinating. So I can't go up that way. I can't go over here. So I did not violate it. I hope. That's very interesting. Hello, Ruben. You have to have cloud density set to max to get that fog that good. Listen to me, I sound like a flight simulator. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Thanks for the information there, Nightbird.
All right, John. Well, it's been a pleasure. I got to take off and run some errands today.
All right, you have a good Saturday and a good rest of the weekend. Hope to catch you soon.